If you want to see how you can take advantage of an 18% mortgage and how not to let it take advantage of you, put number 9s in the chat. I need to see some number 9s in the chat if you want to see how even an 18% mortgage can actually help you. Listen, I'm not asking you to go out and get one. I'm just saying, if you happen to be in a position where to take advantage of an investment property, but what comes along with it is an 18% mortgage, here's the first thing you're going to see. All right. Now, remember, the higher the amount of money that the bank wants, the better you should feel. Here's a $200,000 mortgage at 18% for 30 years. Look at the amount of interest that they want here. $885,000. But that's over 30 years. I need you to be encouraged if you see that. All right. And when you take a look at the total interest paid as a percentage of principal, look at this number. The effective interest rate is 442%. 442.551%. I need you to get encouraged when you see that, because that means you can save at the same rate that they're charging you. Now, watch this. Remember, the higher the interest rate, the smaller the principal payment. I'm getting ready to reveal it. And here we go. The payment on this loan is $3,014.17 a month. Here's the first thing you need to know. If you can afford the payment, you could do fantastic damage to this loan if you can afford the payment. Now, if you can't afford the payment, that's another thing. But if you can, now this is a real estate investor. This is a multifamily property. This is a multifamily property. Cherie said, OMG. She's on YouTube. She said, look at that tiny principal payment. Look at that interest payment. And why should you be encouraged? As somebody who sees this, can somebody tell me, based on what you've learned just today, why should you be encouraged when you see this at this high interest rate? Why should you be encouraged? Anybody? Okay. Do you know why you should be encouraged if you have a $14 principal payment and a $3,000 interest payment? Does anybody know why they should be encouraged? Go ahead and break out in there. Okay. Anybody? Joshua Walsh says the lower principal payment is easier to make. Oh, watch this now. And a Facebook user says you can avoid more interest with the lower principal payment. Oh my goodness. Are you seeing this, folks? Listen, people are catching on. Shaquita says this feels like a kid in a candy store. Johnny Bling says, wow. Listen, we're here to turn this whole thing around so that you can know what to do with these higher interest rates. Stop letting people tell you that the lower interest rates are better and the higher interest rates are bad. Listen, we got folks jumping in here now. Oh, everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to talk now. Everybody. All right. Teresa, you teaching up in here. Let's put that on the screen. So Teresa, you teaching up in here. Listen, folks, look at this. Can you see if we make this payment, we make this payment of $3,014.17. Okay. Now, here is the thing. This is a multi-family property. This investor is making about $6,000 a month on this. Okay. Bringing in $6,000 in rents on this, but paying out $3,014 a month in mortgage payments. Is that a good place to be financially? Out of $6,000 you're bringing in, but you pay $3,000 out. Is that a good financial place to be in? Okay. But we're going to go one step further and say, you don't have to pay all that interest. You can take advantage of this thing. All right. And then I'm going to show you another situation where we're showing people how you can make this act like 4.5% loan. I'm going to show that to you in just a second. Okay. Watch this, folks. Watch this. If we make this payment in January, look at the February principal payment. The February principal payment is $14.38. Look at that principal. Brittany said, pay more to principal. Lord have mercy. Look at this. I'm making my regular mortgage payment, and look at next month's principal payment, $14.38. If you add an extra $14.38 to this mortgage payment, you knock out line 2 on this mortgage, and you save $2,999.79 in interest you never have to pay, because the bank thought they were getting over on you by giving you an 18% mortgage. Okay, Jasmine says, we have definitely been bamboozled. Oh my goodness. Woo! Pamela Dorsey says, wow. All right, that's what we're talking about, folks. I need you to pay close attention to this thing and why you should, if you can afford the payment, don't ever, 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 ever refinance out of this just to get a lower interest rate, because you are hurting yourself. Now, if you want to do a refinance to take cash out, a cash out refi, you're welcome, Pamela. She says, thank you. If you want to do a cash out refi to take cash out of your property so that you can reinvest it, that's another thing. That's making money with your money. But if you're trying to refinance just because somebody offered you a lower interest rate because that's what everybody else is doing, don't you do it.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.